Hey guys, it's Stevie. I'm here for the 500 subscriber special, even though at this point I just checked it's actually like 660 subscribers, so sorry I'm a little late. Also, sorry you can see my microphone and I'm in this weird room, but I'm just working with what I have. Anyway, thanks to everyone for submitting their questions. I didn't get a ton, so this probably won't be too long, but maybe I'll do another one in the future if you guys want one. So let's get into it. All right, so first we've got Jack Payne, who has commented on a lot of my videos, so thank you for watching. And he says, do you do games videos? And I do. I actually have a whole second channel. It's called Salty's TV. It's linked in the description of all of my videos. It's all about gaming. I haven't posted on there in a long time, but it will be coming back soon. And if you guys want to see me play some games or just talk about games or whatever, that will be on there. All right, next question. Fuzzy Killer Fuzzy says, do you have any scary stories? If so, please tell them. So, I don't know. I guess I've had a few personal scary stories that I thought about putting on my channel. I guess it makes sense to like have your own scary stories on your own horror channel, but it's a little weird to like format my own personal experiences in such a way where it's like a scary story. Sometimes they just come out silly when I'm describing them. I guess the most recent scary experience I had was taking the train home after work recently, and it was really late because I stayed at the office late because I'm a workaholic. And this guy got onto the train and he's like screaming Bible verses at everyone and running up to everyone and saying like, you're so selfish, and just being like generally really crazy. And then of all the people on the entire train, he decides to sit next to me and immediately shits his pants. So that was a little bit more interesting and hilarious than scary because I obviously survived, but there was a moment there where I thought I was gonna die, but instead I just smelled a crazy guy's shit. Anyway, next question from Joker556. Do you want to make a living off of YouTube? I guess. I don't know. Obviously, that's kind of the dream, right? Is just to like do your hobby and get paid for it and have that be your day job. I really like my day job. I work with software right now. It's super interesting. It's something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Making a living off of YouTube, though, that would be great. Just kind of like sitting at home all day, making videos. It would definitely give me the freedom to make more of the content that I want to make that's a little more time consuming, stuff that I just don't have the resources or time to do now. So that aspect of making a living off of YouTube would be really great, but it's also stressful. I feel like people don't realize how much work goes into YouTube, especially when you have a lot of passion behind what you're making and you want to make it as good as possible. It's not just like slapping together a video and like being goofy in front of a camera with your friends or, you know, reading a story out loud like I do on this channel. Like a lot of work goes into it, and I'm afraid that if I made it my sole source of income, then maybe it might not be fun for me anymore. But I don't know. That's not really a realistic situation anyway, seeing that like I don't have enough subscribers on either of my channels to do that. All right, next question. Lorinda Warner, sorry if I mispronounced that. Question, can you give some background on the name of your site? So I'm guessing she's referring to my username, Salty Scares. So I started off my gaming channel a while ago, because I just realized this channel hit its first year anniversary yesterday, I think, August 15th, I believe. So I started my gaming channel a little while before that. I came up with Salty Stevie as the name of my channel. My name is Stevie. I thought it was funny. It's a cute little alliteration. And then I started this channel kind of as like an experiment and as a way to practice voice acting, which is something I've always been interested in, and also just kind of a way to play around with video editing and improving my audio. It was more of an experiment to improve on my first channel, but then this one pretty quickly became my primary focus because it was a lot more popular. Even though the name is a little silly, I've already started a little audience, I guess, so I'm gonna stick with it. And that's the story behind it. All right. Kurito Kun Sorry if I mispronounce your name. Oh my god, I'm the worst. I should have practiced these before I started recording. But I also get a lot of comments from this watcher, so thanks for watching all my videos. Anyway, they said, do you plan to upload content on a regular scheduled basis? Yes, that is my goal. I did it for a while, and it was really hard to put up with, especially seeing I've kind of moved around jobs a lot. I was working at a bar for a while, so I worked like from 4 p.m. to 3 a.m. every day, and then that would give me all day alone in my apartment to record, and I could get, a big backlog of videos already and, have a whole month's worth of videos done in a week. So that was a little bit easier to do then. But I've switched jobs. I don't really have a consistent place to record anymore, so it gets a little bit rough. But now that I'm kind of figuring out how things work and where I can record a little bit more often, then I think I'm going to be able to jump back on that regular scheduled basis. I would love to do twice a week. That's my goal. And then if I can get onto a at least weekly posting schedule for my other gaming channel, then that would be awesome. But yes, that is in the works. All right, next question. Hugo's been around since the beginning, so thank you for watching. Thanks to everyone for watching. It's just awesome to see these names that I've seen around since the beginning. It really means a lot. Anyway, Hugo says, can you listen to My Autumn, The Picture, my fave band? So I did listen to it. I did like it. I'm trying to expand my horizons a little bit. I've been listening to a lot more metal music and learning more about metal, which I've always enjoyed, but it's just, there's a lot out there, and I never really listened to certain bands before or figured out the different types of metal. So now that I'm figuring that out, I do appreciate learning about new music, and thank you for sharing, Hugo. I did like it. The picture is great as it gets on. Thanks. Okay, next question. Games played terribly. So these are my friends from my gaming channel, Jeff and Roger. They're awesome. If you guys really want some silly content and retro gaming, then go check them out. They're hilarious. I love them so much. I seriously just put on their videos in the background all the time, while I'm getting ready for work or whatever. They are so funny. Anyway, so they say, congrats on 500. Thank you. You totally deserve it. Thank you very much. My question, what is your favorite story you've told so far? That's from Roger. Ooh, I should have looked this up beforehand. I was thinking about this the other day. So one of my friends who hadn't watched my channel yet was asking for a recommendation of what video to watch because he wanted to see, one of my favorite videos on here. And it's weird because there's a lot that I feel really proud of at the moment that I'm posting them, and then a few weeks later or a few months later at this point, since it's been a while since this channel has been active, I go and listen back and there's so many improvements I've done on my other videos that I'm like, oh my god, I should have done this, I should have done that better. I'm pretty hard on myself. I don't hate any of my old content, but I do see room for improvement. But I remember being really proud of Knocking and Her Name Was Emma. Those two stories were really fun to record. Knocking had some intense audio editing. I spent a whole day or 2 days maybe editing the audio for that. And then Her Name Is Emma had a lot of voice acting that really pushed me out of my comfort zone. And that was super fun. Tiff Talama says, hey, is there an email I can send you a true story to? I don't have any Reddit accounts or anything like that, so if it's okay with you, I'd like to send the story to you. I'm actually going to link my email address in the information box down below. I'm going to start doing that in all of my videos because I have gotten quite a few questions about doing subscriber stories, and I would love to do that. Yes, so to anyone who asked that, the answer is yes, I will be doing subscriber stories. My YouTube inbox is saltystevieyt@gmail.com, so that is the email address I use for both of my channels. If you have any stories, just go ahead, submit them there. I'll probably just do some quick edits to it so it will read really smooth, and then those will definitely get posted to my channel. And I really appreciate anyone who even wants to submit a story. If you get scared and you don't want to submit it, that's totally fine, but the thought is what counts. And thank you guys for wanting to share your stories with me. That's really sweet. Sarah Talk says, by the way, was wondering if you can do a paranormal stories video. So there are certain types of videos that I don't make on my channel. And you guys have probably noticed paranormal stories are one of those. What is my hair doing? Anyway, so I'm not quite sure I believe in the paranormal. I'm definitely a skeptic, so it's hard for me to read these stories that are supposed to be like true scary stories that have to do with ghosts or the paranormal or whatever. It's just hard for me to get into them, and I'm very picky with the true scary stories that I do read, and I make sure that there's something that I think is realistic and I also think is scary. So it's hard for me to find paranormal stories that freak me out, to be honest, because that's kind of my threshold. If it doesn't freak me out or if it doesn't entertain me, I'm not going to read it on my channel. So if I'm able to find some that tickle me, then I'll do that, but it's going to be hard for me to post them as true scary stories because I'm not sure I can entirely believe all of them. And I don't mean to offend anyone who does believe in the paranormal. I'm a skeptic. That doesn't mean that I like absolutely 100% say no, this isn't real. It's just that it doesn't totally fall in line with what I believe is absolutely true. But the possibility of it being true is really scary, so I don't know. That's the other thing is, like, it's not always scary, it's just interesting. Like, if ghosts did exist, that would be super cool. I don't think it would really be necessarily scary. So I don't know if those would be scary stories or they'd just be cool stories. But anyway, I have been getting some requests for paranormal stories, so I will find some that I like for their entertainment value, and I will do them for you guys. Next question, Triforce Punk. I believe that this is the last question. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. So this is my friend from my gaming channel as well. We talk on Twitter and other social media related to my YouTube channels, and he is awesome. He has been a huge supporter of my channel since the beginning. He's also the only one who used the hashtag, which made me feel important. I just wanted someone to use the hashtag, so thank you for using the hashtag. Anyway, he said, when was your first experience with anything horror related, and was that the moment you became a fan? If not, what moment was? I love this question. So I have always been a horror fan since I was a kid. My dad and I used to watch the Sci-Fi Channel, and we also used to play like scary games together. It started off with stuff that's a little bit more innocent, like Zombies Ate My Neighbor, or things like that. And I remember watching Alien and The Exorcist and Poltergeist, all the classics. And my dad also shared Stephen King novels with me. So Stephen King novels can definitely go off this end where it's like super inappropriate for kids. Inappropriate, there's like a whole range of stuff like that. Like I'm sure a lot of people are like freaking out about the fact that I watched The Exorcist when I was a child. And I loved that idea of being scared, but understanding fiction versus reality. And I think that was an important lesson that I learned by being a young horror fan, is that you don't have to be afraid of things that aren't real. And I feel like a lot of kids, they have like the monster under the bed or like the invisible friend that's mean to them sometimes. Like they have all these imaginary things that they're afraid of. So parents will try to shelter them and prevent them from seeing anything that's scary, which of course makes sense because you don't want to freak out your kid. But I loved that my dad kind of trusted where he knew my threshold for scary stuff was. And I'm not saying that like his parenting technique was better than anyone else's, but both of my parents were like really supportive of me experiencing age-appropriate horror to a certain extent. Of course, gore is like kind of hard to find age-appropriate gore. So there was definitely stuff that I watched that was meant for people outside of my age range, but it was a nice experiment to see where my thresholds lied. And I think the moment that I became a horror fan was when I started playing Silent Hill. So Silent Hill came out in 1998, which means I was probably like 7 years old around that age. So I was like way too young to be playing it, but I was obsessed with it. I would watch my dad play it every day. And then when I started playing it, we would like trade hints and we'd take notes about it and we would tell each other like where we are in the game. And it just became like a really great bonding experience with my dad, but it also made it so that I had something about horror that was more story related and something that I could be involved in. And I was already a gamer at that point, so like getting involved in a horror game, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. To this day, I'm a huge Silent Hill fan, so it definitely stuck with me. And I definitely have to attribute Silent Hill to be like the thing that turned me into a true fan. Anyway, so I think that's a good place to end it. Thank you guys all for your questions. I really appreciate it. Thank you for watching. More content to come soon. If you guys have any other questions that didn't get answered in this video, feel free to ask me. If I get enough, maybe I'll do another Q&A at the next milestone, if I reach the next milestone. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.